This is a view of the US-Mexican border in the Tijuana-San Diego region, where the border literally goes into the Pacific Ocean. I took this photograph several years ago, and at the time, my focus was on showing how the environment can transcend geopolitical borders. And indeed, there is no way we can contain the Pacific Ocean or even the continental shelf when it comes to the physical border between countries. Nevertheless, we're at a time now where we need to consider the role of borders without political polarization, because unfortunately, we are living in a world of immense inequality where there are going to be situations where economic migration and genuine asylum and refuge are going to be potentially conflated and confused and deliberately used and manipulated in order to reach certain desired ends by individuals who are in desperate conditions. And we are also living in a time of immense xenophobia. So we need a certain pragmatism in approaching the issue. And I speak as a migrant myself, as a citizen of a developing country, Pakistan, as well as a citizen of the United States and of Australia. And I should note that Australia is another country which has had to deal with this dynamic quite acutely. There was political consensus across the spectrum in Australia that they needed to figure out a way to contain illegal migration. Unfortunately, they did it in a drastic way so that some people got left in a twilight zone when the laws were changed, which did not allow for arrivals on boats to be given asylum. That policy itself was generally considered to be appropriate. And in many ways, the United States is trying to follow the Australian example of trying to process the asylum seekers outside of US borders in Mexico. The Australians tried to do that on Pacific Islands. Both are suboptimal outcomes, but they are a way to try and negotiate this very sensitive area of human endeavor. And so it would be appropriate for us to consider reforms to asylum regulations at a global level in terms of the Refugee Convention, as well as the way in which we consider economic versus human rights linked migration. These are genuine concerns which need to be addressed with compassion and without the kind of antagonism that is currently being shown by both sides of the political spectrum. So I hope this image and this brief commentary will give us some reason for reflection and some action which is pragmatic and not driven by crass emotion.